Today, I'm going to unbox and take a look at Risk Strike. Now, what is Risk Strike? Well, it is a small box version of Risk, the game of global domination. Now, this is my oldest version of this. It's not the first one I bought. I picked this up secondhand. As you can see, it's a little ripped here. This was part of my dumpster diving of games, and but I played this when I was back in grade school. In fact, this was probably my first war game. And I know that's sacrilege or blasphemy or whatever you want to call it, but it's my first game that I played that had some concepts of war. This is area control. It's the quintessential dudes on a map game, and at somewhat of an abstract level. It's buckets of dice trying to get those hits, and it is a little bit of a pressure luck. You know, how much do you want to extend your attack? Do you go for it all and leave yourself unprotected so someone else can gobble up all your one army areas? But this fascinated me as a kid. And as I said, this is my first foray into wargaming, if you want to call it that. I played, Panzer Blitz was the first war game, true war game that I ever played, and or at least I should say Hex Encounter war game that I ever played. But this one always fascinated me, and I have tended to collect versions of Risk over the years, which brought me to this small box one. Now I've got some other versions of Risk that I might want to. I'm thinking about doing I don't know if I'm going to do a week of Risk. I don't know if any of you will be able to stomach that, but I might do an exploration of Risk and just go through my Risk games and talk a little bit about the nuances of it, because Risk has turned into kind of the monopoly of wargaming, and I'm using wargaming in quotes there. In that, it's been rethemed, and it's taken the core mechanic and then have had all kinds of different aspects of space and mythology and Lord of the Rings and Warhammer and zombies, and it just goes on and on. It becomes kind of the quintessential monopoly of this space, and that you can just take the core mechanic and add a different theme to it. But when they do those themes, they add something special to it. So again, I might do a whole exploration to talk about that. But today, I'm talking about Risk Strike, and this isn't the first iteration of a small box Risk either. I mean, one of my first ones there was this Risk Express, and this has a story behind it in and of itself. I tracked this one down to Amsterdam. I picked this up at a game shop in Amsterdam. I went to Amsterdam just to get this. No, I was in Amsterdam on business, and whenever I go to a new town, I always try to check out a game shop if possible, and I found this and bought it. This was unavailable anywhere in the States. Could not find this anywhere. There's also a re-skinning of this, just like Risk is apt to do, Age of War, which is basically the same general game as Risk Express, but this has your typical United States or the world layout of areas. This one is dealing with feudal Japan. So anyway, what have we done here with Risk Strike that is different? Well, let's take a look inside this box and see. Let's take a look at the back of the box first here. So it's got cards, dice, and domination. So you're going to declare battle, you're going to deploy your troops, and you're going to roll to dominate. So that's about all we have here. Now, this is a Avalon Hill game, and it is Hasbro, which is interesting. They must have bought the rights to it because, this was Fantasy Flight, but Reiner Knizia did this one. I think Risk Express was Reiner Knizia as well. I don't know who published this. Nice box, though. But Parker Brothers, I think, did a lot of the other Risk over the years. So I don't know how all the IP has transferred hands there. But we have Hasbro and Avalon Hill on this one, and there's this nifty little Avalon Hill seal. Easy for you to say. Right there. So 10 plus, 2 to 5 players, 20 minutes, Avalon Hill. so let's get inside this thing. I saw this at, I didn't pick it up at Walmart, but I saw it on the shelf at Walmart at a couple, few visits there, and decided, you know, it's been a while since I broke out a Risk game or even bought a Risk game, so let's try it and see. So this is, oh, that's cool. So that sticker is going to stay on there. I was worried that might be part of the wrapping, so that's cool. So I'll always have that Avalon Hill 22/19 or 2019 maybe. I don't know. Anyway, so here's the box, small box here. Here are the rules. Object: defeat other players in battle to earn continent cards and get domination coins. The first player to collect 2 domination coins wins. Okay, so we've got a little bit different feature here in these domination coins. And that's the interesting thing about Risk as well. These small box Risk, you know, have kind of developed a little bit different, trying to boil down the essence of the game. But Risk itself, as I said, I'll have to do a whole exploration on that. But it has tried to correct some of its downfalls. One that Risk had a tendency had player elimination, so that was one of its biggest downfalls, because you could knock someone out early, or everybody can gang up on someone, and that person has to, you know, go off in the corner and do whatever until someone else joins them, which, you know, could be, you know, 30 minutes, could be an hour, you know, could be whatever. So player elimination was a big thing on it. Also, player elimination is not so bad if the game's not too long, but that was another problem with Risk, is it outstayed its welcome. The games could be really long, especially if you have, you know, people of commensurate skill. You know, they don't necessarily make a mistake that opens up, you know, them being knocked out of the game, and so people can hang on for a while. It can kind of go pretty sluggish. So, you know, long games with player elimination are not a good fix. And so a lot of the versions of Risk, in addition to adding some kind of theme or adding some kind of a different aspect to it to fit with the theme, they also try to address the gameplay. Like it's set to a limited number of turns. There's like missions you need to do, and once you get that mission, then the game ends. So it's not one of these where you have to, you know, be king of the hill, or just not just take over most of the world for all the world. You can just complete certain aspects of it, and it really greatly shortened the game in some of these additions. So anyway, I'll get into that when I do the exploration. So we have our contents here. We have tactic cards. We have reference cards. We have domination coins. I imagine this domination coins is a way to declare winner without having to control everything. You got your dice. So you got 2 different colors for attack and defense. We've got, this is a relatively small booklet here. Actually, it's a fold out. So there's your game setup. Here's on your turn. There's attack phase. You can choose to attack or pass, and then there's attack phase 1, 2, and 3, which is declare battle. Well, the different phases is you would declare battle, deploy troops, and then roll and resolve. This is what happens when you resolve a win, and then you get an example of play here, ending your turn, how to use tactic cards, dominating, winning, and more to know. And then you have an explanation of some of the tactic cards there. That's it. I mean, it's not that complicated, nor should it be, right? So what do we got here? We've got some of these domination coins. Let's see. Ooh, they're wrapped. Ooh, nice big plastic here. Look at that. Ooh, I like that. I like the feel of those. Look at the poker chips. Really thick poker chips. And so you've got, but they're for each of the different areas here. So like this is South America. You've got Asia. You've got Europe. You've got North America. Is that Australia? Or is that North America? Not seeing it very good there. Oh, that's a Euro. I don't know. I gotta see what that is. And there's North America. Sorry, that's North America. So this is that's definitely Australia. So what am I missing there? Anyway, I gotta look that. Oh, that's Africa. Sorry, I had it turned a different angle. They're a little bit harder to see in the glare here. What do we got here? What do we got in this box here? Is there something underneath here? Let's take a look and see. I'm always quick to look inside the box. Maybe not. Maybe nothing's in there. Nope. Nice place to store stuff, though, possibly. Little secret box there. And I'm not going to be able to get it back now. Oh. Very tight. Okay, got your dice. So you got 3 attack, 2 defense. And then the rest of this game is going to be cards. So, looks like they're kind of going biodegradable here a little bit. They're going a lot more paper in here than plastic, although those big chips are plastic. Thick stack of cards here. So we got black backs and white backs, and then we've got some reference cards here. So there's your attack or pass, and then here is the world. So we have these white cards. These are so this is the, oh, that's another reference card there. So these cards are, the white cards are the different areas, like the different continents: Asia, Africa, Australia, Europe, North America. And there's different numbers on there. I imagine that's what you have to take them over. In the base game, it is how many troops you get. And these are the tactic, ooh, almost lost those. These are your tactic cards. So I guess these are your troops that you're going to deploy when it says deploy troops. We've got artillery and canceled orders and expand, rally. So these are the tactic cards. So I wonder if it says you deploy troops, if it's just troops, or is it deploying tactic cards? I'll have to read up on the rules on that. So there's your troops. Play during attack phase 2 to deploy a troop. For each troop card you play, add 1 die to your roll until you reach your maximum number of dice. Okay. So these are played at different times. Play anytime after troops are deployed. So the artillery augment them. Play after players roll dice. Play immediately after a tactics card is played. So it's got kind of a canceling effect. So there you have it. So that is the contents of Risk Strike. Looks interesting here, I must say. It's a little bit different take on Risk than what we've seen in the past. Put these here. There you have it. That is Risk Strike. Fast and fierce world domination. So love to know your thoughts on this. Have you played it? What do you think about it? Or I mean, are you you're just, Risk is too basic for you and you don't want to waste your time with it? It'll be interesting to see how this plays and how this compares to kind of this express version of it, which this is a dice rolling fest of not a dice rolling like to attack, but just almost kind of like a Yahtzee type situation where you're trying to match symbols to do stuff. But I like it. It's interesting. It's very light. This one looks like it's trying to bring back some of the features of the core Risk. You've got the attack dice. You've got troops that you're employing through cards, and you're trying to take over these different areas. So it looks like this is a closer in line to trying to emulate the original Risk. Anyway, that's what I have for you today. Thank you so much for stopping by. Love to see your comments. Let me know if I'll probably go ahead and start working on an exploration of Risk in general, since I already have some of these pulled out. But put your comments in there for what you think about Risk in this. But you can also make sure you put it in the other video whenever I get around to it. Anyway, thanks all. Take care. Thanks for watching.